Get this right. We're gonna figure this out someday. One day, I'm gonna figure this out and get this right. All right, just give it a couple seconds. Waiting for Facebook to fire up, get going. And while we're waiting for that, while we are waiting for that, see, I'm hesitating. I'm stalling for time to not leak. So I have to go back and repeat myself. But why are we not? So you know what? We're just gonna go because I don't know, something happened with Facebook. I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to figure this out. And says we have internet. So anyway, so good. All right, guys, welcome. Brian Christian Jenkins here, Truth Alchemist, based out of Gran Canaria, Spain. Now, today I want to go into something that's going to be quite personal to me, and I think quite interesting to you. And I do encourage, conversation. I do encourage you to share what's going to come up for you in this conversation, because everyone has different viewpoints of what we should be sharing and what we could be sharing and what's appropriate to share. And so, with that in mind, this week, some of you may have seen that I shared a video that was quite personal. It was pretty emotional. It was very raw, very pure, and very true to what I was feeling in that moment and what I'm experiencing, even still currently. All right. All right. So I was going to wait for. Let me just try one more time before I go. Let me see if. Nope. Okay, let's try to refresh this. Still trying to get Facebook going. Yes, let's reload this. Okay, well, it seems to be going. Okay. All right. Okay, seems to be going. Cool, let's go with that. All right, so now get back on track. So what I'm saying is share it. And essentially, if you haven't seen the video, I'd encourage you to go back and watch it. And if you feel uncomfortable seeing a person cry, especially a grown man cry, I would definitely give you the invitation to ask yourself why, and to lean into that, and to get comfortable seeing people uncomfortable. And that's where I want to take the conversation is, I believe, as clear and as best as I understand myself today, right now in this moment, that I am here as a messenger. I am here to show, to teach, to demonstrate that this thing that we call life, this thing that we put on a pedestal, this thing that we want to feel completely fulfilled in, has a full range of colors, a full range of experiences, a full range of emotions. And in this pursuit of happiness, in this pursuit of a fulfilled life, where we feel completely satisfied, as a culture, as a human culture, as a species, we tend to only put value on, attention to those moments that make us feel good, or that we would call good, that we would say demonstrate a level of success, of happiness, that give pleasure. Okay? And if we aren't living in that side of it, that spectrum, that one spectrum, that side of life, the whole experience of it, we tend to say that something's wrong. We tend to think that something's wrong. Something's wrong with us. Something's wrong with our life. Something's wrong with what I'm doing. I should be doing something differently, better. Why am I here? If I feel this level of discomfort, then something must not be going right. Now look, there is truth in that. There is truth in that. If you feel uncomfortable in such a way that you don't feel happy, that you don't feel content, that you don't feel as if you're really getting the most, you're squeezing all the juice out of life that you can, that you believe you can, that you know you should be doing, there is truth in that there's probably something going wrong for you. But rather than looking at it wrong, it's simply a symbol to you. It's a signal. It's a red flag. It's a firework. It's an attention grabber. It's a shake, to tap on the shoulder, to say, pay attention. What is it that you don't want to see? What is it that you're not seeing? What is here for you? And the most of us, when these emotions come up, when these things happen, we tend to focus on, oh, this just sucks. How do I get out of this? And we start getting desperate. We start doing these things. We start moving around. We start, we're trying to fill this void. It could be alcohol, drugs, candy, Netflix, sex, buying, spending, all these things that we want to do to distract ourselves from actually listening to the call. So what does that have to do with me sharing what a lot of people would consider such a private moment publicly? Because when I'm telling you I'm a messenger, when I'm telling you that I'm here, when I'm telling you that I come here to teach people, to really explore, identify with their truth, their identity, to allow their full selves to come through, I believe that with every fiber of my body. And I believe that right now, in this moment in time, as we sit here now, March 21st, 2022 at 1:08 p.m. Canary Island time, in this moment, I believe I'm living that. And that's part of me fulfilling my purpose. That's part of me fulfilling my life's mission as I understand it today, right now. There's no doubt in my mind that that will change. It will evolve in the future. There's no doubt it will. But right here, right now, today, when I share such a video with you, it's giving you a gift. Do you understand that? I've packaged that up and I've given you a gift. I pulled the curtain back from behind my life to show that part of me to you. For no other reason but to show you another very human experience, what that is and what that looks like for me. It's not because I'm looking for attention, pity. I'm not looking for someone to write me a message and to console me. I appreciate all of you who did, but that's not why I'm doing it. Because when I work with people and we go through the process of being okay, to being in practice of moving through life, especially when it comes in relationships, and we love someone so much, we're like, God, I love this person with all my soul. Like, I feel like this person is for me. We fit together. Like, I would die for that person. And at the same time, I want to choke this person out. This person causes me so much stress, so much frustration. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this. In that process, I show people how to be okay with that, how to be able to separate what is theirs, what is ours, and to be able to look at life differently. That the things that happen, our experience of life, is not the truth of what is happening in our life. It is only a reflection. It is only a signal of what can be happening. It's a symptom of what is happening. So for me to show that with you, to show me crying, being very emotional, feeling those wounds in my body, feeling there's something not satisfied within my body that stems from my childhood, and how it shows up in my real life 39-year-old body in my 4-year marriage, that's only to bring awareness of what's happening. There's no judgment in that. I don't judge myself. There was some judgment because that video was recorded about a month ago. And I shared, that's actually a 15-minute long video that I only shared with a very select group of men, actually two of my men's groups, to be able to have a place to express that, to get that off of me, to get that energy moving so it's not trapped inside me. I've reduced that down to show you a snippet, some things that I can feel comfortable with you showing, but a lot of that, I didn't want to be seen because there's judgment around that. Are you going to judge me for crying? Are you going to judge me for being emotional, for breaking down? Are you going to potentially not see me as a professional, not really respect me as a professional? Are you going to see me as weak? All these senses of a judgment came in before. Is my wife going to appreciate that? Is she going to understand? I'm okay to share that, but is she going to be okay that all these things we're going through? But when it came down to it, my truth was this needs to be shared. whether my wife approves or not, whether you judge me for crying or not, whether you critique me or lose faith in me in my profession. All those things are possibilities, but my truth and me living my truth was to share that with you, to gift, whether you see it that way or not. Now, to take that conversation a little bit further, also part of being able to show that is I do believe that we, as a human race, all these different countries, cultures within the countries, I believe that a lot of the things that we would call bad, the suffering that we see in the world, famine, war, violence, aggression, racism, bigotry, discrimination, all these things we see around the world, I believe a lot of that is stemmed in, rooted in the fact that we don't allow ourselves to be human. We don't allow ourselves to actually have human emotions and have a human experience and go through the whole process. So therefore, when something comes up, something happens to us in our world, if I'm a leader, if I'm a king, if I'm a president, if I'm a big business owner and I need to make sure my shareholders are taken care of, I need to make a demonstration of force to other competition so they respect me, I may do things in such a way that would jeopardize my integrity, that may hurt other people, may put other people last, which may challenge my purpose, my mission as a person, as a man on this earth. But if I allowed myself to be human and say, I am scared right now, I am uncomfortable right now, I am hurting right now, I don't know what to do right now, I don't have the answer right now. If we allowed ourselves to share that and actually experience that and feel that, I believe a lot of what we would call negative in the world would vanish almost overnight. But that same emotional wound that you saw come up in that video when I was crying, when I didn't feel seen, when I didn't feel supported, we all in a lot of ways carry those things with us. But because we don't know how to really manage those, we don't know what to do with those, we don't know how to make sense of those, it comes out in a variety of ways. We shut down, we hide, we don't share, we don't open. We want that deep love, but we don't open. And I believe that if we were as willing to show the other experience of life that we would call bad, that we would appreciate more of the good. We would allow ourselves to judge less, not just other people, but more so ourselves. I mean, let me take this a little bit further. Is when we're talking about the good times and we want to show success, and we want to show that we're doing well, and we want to laugh, we want to feel positive, we want to feel happy all the time. And a lot of times we don't feel happy, but we force it because that's what people want to see. So we put it on. We strive for that feeling all the time. We don't have it. We feel like there's something wrong. Yet, how many times have you heard someone say, God, that child is spoiled? Or have you said, you know what, my child is a good kid, but he's so spoiled. I did so much to give them everything that I didn't have that they don't appreciate the value of money. They don't appreciate the home that they have. They don't appreciate the life that they have. They can't appreciate because I've given them so much. Or how many times have you heard or saw a news story or on TV or a movie where you have the spoiled rich kid, the entitled rich kid, the privileged rich kid that didn't have to do anything because they had supports, they had money, they had everything they could possibly want, tutors, they had the best care, the best health, the best everything. And people looking from the outside would say, they don't even know what it's like to be living in the real world because they haven't experienced the what. They have not had to go through the what. They are lacking the what experience of life. The struggle, the pain, the discomfort. They didn't have to know what it's like to feel hungry. They didn't know what it's like to feel desperate. They don't know what it's like to feel as if you don't know if you're going to be able to have money to do something tomorrow. They didn't ever had to feel that. Now, I'm not saying that's the truth. Just understand, I'm talking about generalities right now, so don't get caught up on that. I'm speaking very general. But when we see people in positions like that, and we see like, look, they don't value money. They don't know what it's like to really work for that because they haven't gone through the pain, the struggle of getting that. So if we believe that to be true and we value that there is a part of life that once we go through what we would call the negative part or the shit part of life to appreciate the other side of life, why is it that we try to hide what we would call negative? The hurt, the pain, the sadness, the frustration. Why would we try to hide that? Why don't we show that? If we value that so much and we know for a fact that that adds character and that adds to the richness of life, why is it that we try to hide that so much? Why is it we judge ourselves so much for that? Why is it that we want to judge other people for that? Because we know you really, let's be honest with ourselves, you really cannot fully appreciate the sweetness unless you tasted something bitter. You cannot really appreciate what it's like to rest and relax and let your body melt away in a luxurious sauna until you have really worked your body hard and it's tight, it's tired, it's sore, it's dry. You don't know what it's like to really feel love when someone does an unconditional act of kindness to you until you've been spit on, until someone ignored you, overlooked you, undervalued you. And then when someone said, hey, I see you. You're an amazing person. I value your friendship. I value what you do for me. I value who you are for me in my life. And when you hear those words, those mean something to you because you've had someone who couldn't even utter those words. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible to enjoy, to appreciate the good, what we call good in life. But it's only through that struggle, those tears, that hurt, that frustration that we can really value that and really appreciate that and appreciate the full spectrum of life. So that is why I'm here to share what most people would consider private publicly. Because I would like this to be more the norm. I'd like us to actually be more human in our interactions, to be able to share more, to be more connected, to be more open, to not feel as we need to hide behind ourselves and everyone else. This would relieve, you know how much depression this would relieve? How much anxiety? How much envy? So everything that we experience, we do to ourselves. We create that. But we don't want to go first. But I'm going first. And no, I'm not, I know, literally, I'm not the first one to do this. But in my community, in a lot of ways, I choose to go first. Not only for me, because also when I do this, it also is for me. When I do share these things that I fear that I may be judged on, it helps to heal a part of me. It helps to empower me. Because I challenge myself to say, well, if there's someone in my circle or even outside who wants to judge what my life looks like, what my experience looks like, and what my messy looks like, if someone wants to judge that in me, I'm okay with that. I'm learning to be okay with that. Because for such a long time, for most of my life, I limited myself on how I would show up, how I would love, how I would experience life, what I would do, what I wouldn't do, because of what people may think about that, what I would wear, what I would say, what I would speak, where I'd work, what kind of job, how much money, all these things of the concern of how I would be perceived. So when I share with you, when I give you the gift of looking in my life, take it as such. Now, you may not be ready to receive it, and I get that. A lot of you will not be ready to receive it. It will be too much. That's what my assistant told me. You know, she saw the video. She goes, oof, it was heavy. It was a lot. It was. But you know what? I know for a fact, not only in the work that I do, with the people that I help, the people I teach, not only in the men's circles I'm with, I know for a fact that in that video, I'm not alone. And that's also the message I want to send. That's also when I say I'm a messenger here, that's what I'm here to show you, that you are not alone. That in those moments when you feel frustrated, stuck, you feel like you just can't quite hold it together, when you feel as if you love someone so much and you just want to only see them do well and be well, and you hurt so much, I know I'm not alone. So I am the messenger for you and for anyone else you may come in contact with, that you are not alone. That your life, the way it looks, is exactly the way it should look, no matter how bad it may look. Only you decide that. Only you decide that. So with that, I feel complete. I feel complete. I feel good. I feel a little bit tired right now. We just dropped my mom off the airport this morning. She was with us for about 3 weeks, and love that woman to death. You know, we had a really great time with her, had a lot of fun with her, and I'm really fortunate. I feel blessed, really, that her and my wife get along really, really well. We all get along. We love to travel together. We love to explore together. We just have a really good time. And I'm a bit exhausted, but I also feel full. God, I feel so full. And for anyone else who has questions about that video, who has questions about anything you saw in that video, anything you felt, write to me. I've had some people behind the scenes ask me more about it, and I'm welcome to it. I'm open to it. I invite it. I encourage it. I encourage, especially who you haven't felt that way, have experienced anything like that, I encourage you to reach out to me. Not for anything else, just to connect. I encourage you, if you are a man who has felt that way, send it to your wife. If you can't conjure up the courage, the emotion to share that side of yourself with your wife, say, hey, babe, I'm not going to say this exactly what I feel, but I felt moments like this. Watch this video. If you are a woman out there and you feel that sometimes maybe your man isn't as open, isn't as connected, isn't as sensitive as you would like, and you feel he doesn't care about you, watch this. I promise you, there are plenty of men who are just as deeply committed as I am to the marriage, who want to get it right, who want to figure it out, who want to love you unconditionally, who want to support you, who want to have their shit together all the time for you, and they just feel like they can't. And because they feel like they can't, they shut down. They put distance. It's not because they don't care about you. It's because they don't know how to get that out. Can you appreciate him for that? All right. With that, now I'm done. So you beautiful people, have an amazing day. You know, just want to give you again that encouragement to go out there and live your best life every single day. Use your truth to alchemize your best life. That's all there is. I'm telling you, if you want to really weed out people, get to the crux of what it is you're here to do, and to understand if people are really in your corner, be authentic. Be authentic. Be brave enough. Be bold enough to let people see you. All of you. I promise you, the people who won't appreciate that, who won't be able to stand in that, won't be able to see that, they'll go. Let them go. And those who are being drawn to that, they'll be drawn to you. You just have to be okay with that. Or you can continue to live in that kind of that box, that kind of that self-inflicted prison that I know I kept myself in for decades, and be okay with that. There's also no judgment in that. What your life looks like is no one can say it's good, bad, indifferent. There's no judgment in that. Only you can choose. But if you know there's something else there, and you want to live it, live it. Peace, love, and respect. Brian Christian Jenkins here, coming out of Gran Canaria, Spain. Truth Alchemist. And, wishing you all an amazing, powerful week. Much love to you all.